The seriousness of the news is instantly established as the video begins with a solemn and courteous statement. Before moving on to the tragic news about her daughter, the narrator makes a quick mention of Fantasia Barrino, honoring her legacy as a strong voice in gospel and R&B music. Fans of Fantasia and her family can relate to this section, which establishes the emotional tone. The goal is to draw attention and empathy without becoming dramatic, one that affects not just the entertainment industry but also the fundamental human experience of family, love, and grief. Fantasia Barrino has long been admired not only for her music, but also for the warmth and strength she gives to every part of her life. Her voice has inspired millions with her unadulterated passion, unquestionable talent, and unshakable faith. Today we go into a fictitious and intensely intimate tale about her daughter, one that honors the relationship between mother and child and considers the immense influence that even a short life can have on those who love them. Despite her youth, Fantasia's daughter was a lively and intelligent person who made her family and everyone around her happy. Here she is shown as having a lively personality, an inquisitive mind, and a compassionate heart, a mirror of the ideals her mother has always upheld. Viewers are encouraged to comprehend the depth of their relationship, their shared humor, and the lessons that influenced her early years through this story. Despite being imaginary, these moments act as a mirror to the common experiences of parents and kids, allowing viewers to connect with realistic and personal feelings. The story opens in a setting of warmth and familial affection, emphasizing the ordinary moments that make a parent-child relationship so priceless. The quiet talks, the shared dreams, the tiny achievements shared together, and the mutual support that serves as the cornerstone of a lifetime commitment. However, this story has an element of unpredictability. Much like life itself, a time when happiness and sadness come together to remind us of how fleeting life is and how important it is to cherish the people we love. The intention in telling this story is to honor rather than sensationalize, to depict an emotionally stirring tale while upholding the dignity of the people at its core. It serves as a prompt to consider our own families, the relationships we occasionally take for granted, and the times that best capture our love for one another. Viewers will experience a range of emotions as we dive into the story, including excitement, surprise, and heartbreak, before discovering a message of hope, resiliency, and the enduring strength of family ties. The daughter of Fantasia. Here we give some background information about Fantasia's daughter, including her age, personality, and public persona, or private life, depending on the tale aspect. Her hobbies, accomplishments, and the mother-daughter relationship that influenced her life are all vividly depicted in the narration. This portion guarantees that the audience comprehends the importance of the news and feels a personal connection. The unexpected occurrence, the imaginary incident that resulted in the tragic news, is introduced in this section. The narrative highlights unpredictability, showing that even those who appear stable or content can experience abrupt changes in their lives. The narration can explain how the news was received by fans and the family, the first shock, and how it spread through news channels and social media while remaining appropriate and sympathetic. The emotional reaction of Fantasia. This section examines Fantasia Barrino's made-up emotional journey after hearing the news. Using her real-life persona as a powerful and inspirational lady, describe her pain, resiliency, and strength. Describe how she relies on the support of her family, community, and faith. As a mother and public figure, this humanizes Fantasia and helps viewers feel a strong sense of empathy for her. Reactions from the community and fans. The community's and supporters' reactions to the news are covered in this overview. Emphasize group grieving by highlighting fan events, candlelight vigils, and sincere social media tributes. Even if the daughter's life was brief or imaginary, convey the love that others had for her. As a result, the story develops a shared emotional bond. Thoughts on loss and motherhood. This section discusses the universal experience of loss, grief, and hope from a contemplative perspective. It is possible to emphasize Fantasia's role as a mother by highlighting her protectiveness, the values she imparted to her daughter, and the relationship that endures despite tragedy. The purpose of this section is to increase viewers' emotional connection and enable them to relate on a personal level. Respecting her legacy. This section honors the daughter's life, accomplishments, and character despite the fact that her story is fake. Mention her aspirations, skills, or deeds of kindness to demonstrate to the audience why she was important. The narrative reaffirms that her influence is felt in her family and the greater community, and that her memory continues to inspire. Proceeding. recovery, and adaptability. The final section emphasizes resilience, healing, and optimism. Despite their grief, Fantasia and her family are shown to be strengthened by their love for one another, their faith, and their fans. The audience is left with a message of empathy, motivation, and contemplation regarding the frailty of life and the significance of treasuring loved ones. Paying tribute to Fantasia and her daughter, the narrator can leave a deep emotional impact by reminding viewers to cherish family, empathy, and community support. The story is presented with decency and respect in a mournful yet uplifting tone. We are reminded of the frailty of life and the strength of the ties that bind us to people we love by the weight that hovers over our hearts as this story draws to a close. Even though Fantasia Barrino's kid is fictional in this story, the news has an all-too-real resonance. It is a tale that reflects life's unpredictable nature, the abruptness with which happiness can be cut short by tragedy, and the unflinching fortitude of a mother whose love is both intense and enduring. As we consider this story, we are encouraged to enter Fantasia's and her family's world, comprehend their experience with love, pain, and resiliency, and make room for the teachings that come from it. Everyone who knew Fantasia's daughter, who is described in this story as a gifted and intelligent young lady, found hope in her. Her presence is vivid even in a fictional setting. Her dreams, her laughing, and her relationship with her mother come to life as though she were with us. She represents the dreams that parents have for their kids, the goals that shape their youth, and the happy times that leave a lasting impression. Even though her life was cruelly cut short in this story, it serves as a reminder that a person's influence is determined by the amount of love they inspire and the lives they touch, rather than just how long they live. Fantasia's world was rocked by shock and disbelief upon hearing the unexpected news. Even in a fictional setting, the immediacy of loss conveys the deep manner that life can change in an instant. The community, admirers who had long adored Fantasia, and everyone who could identify with the common feeling of unexpected bereavement were all affected by the shock, which was not limited to the family alone. The story enables us to see a woman struggling with an unfathomable reality and relying on faith, family, and community for assistance during these times when the human spirit is most put to the test. Fantasia herself appears as the personification of both fragility and strength. She is clearly grieving, but she is also determined to pay tribute to her daughter. She exemplifies the profound nature of mother love in every gesture and word, a love that perseveres through grief and introspection, rather than diminishing with absence. The story emphasizes her coping strategies, her quiet times of reflection, and the ways she transforms her suffering into joy, connection, and recollection. Because it is based on universal truths about love, grief, and resiliency, it is a portrayal that strikes a deep chord. The narrative also highlights how important the community is to the grief process. Supporters, friends, and admirers band together, paying respects, exchanging memories, and setting up areas for group grieving. These common displays of compassion and encouragement demonstrate the continuing strength of human connection. Despite being fictional, the daughter's existence serves as a trigger for introspection and solidarity, demonstrating how love and memory can transcend close family ties. These instances highlight the value of community in the healing process and the ways that remembering a loved one may foster empathy and togetherness among people. The final note's main theme is reflections on parenthood and the relationship Fantasia has with her daughter. The story serves as a reminder that even when a parent or kid is no longer physically there, the lessons they taught, the direction, support, and values they instilled remain relevant. Through the memories she leaves behind, Fantasia's daughter imparts lessons about happiness, compassion, and the value of following one's passions. Even though her existence is fictitious for the sake of the narrative, it serves as a benchmark for comprehending the long-lasting effects of love, mentoring, and supportive guidance. In keeping with her legacy, the story highlights that the daughter's impact extends beyond her earthly existence and continues to motivate people who hear about her. She leaves a lasting impression, whether it is via deeds of generosity, creative moments, or the sheer power of her soul. In this way, the narrative challenges the viewer to think about how every life, no matter how short, has the capacity to make a lasting impact on other people. Her legacy is an exhortation to treasure those you love, to celebrate successes, and to acknowledge the deep beauty that may be discovered in ordinary moments. Ultimately, the narrative progresses toward resilience, healing, and optimism. Despite their grief, Fantasia and her family are shown to find solace in each other, in the affection of their neighborhood, and in the unwavering presence of her daughter's memory. This final thought highlights the fact that, despite its extreme sorrow, grief may coexist with hope and rejuvenation. It reassures the audience that it is possible to find light, pay tribute to memories, and carry on with a purposeful life that is driven by love and recollection even after suffering a significant loss. All things considered, the fictional tale of Fantasia Barrino's daughter, conveyed with compassion, nuance, and respect, is a potent reminder of the frailty of existence and the eternal ties of love. It honors the human spirit's tenacity, the power of maternal attachment, and the deep ways that people impact the lives of those around them. It challenges us to consider our own relationships, cherish the time we spend with loved ones, and respect the legacy we leave behind via presence, love, and kindness. Even though the story is fictional, the feelings it arouses are genuine, universal, and profoundly human, leaving a lasting impact that promotes introspection, empathy, and an understanding of how fleeting life is.